Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, coming at you to tell you a little bit of what's going on in my mind. And today, in Frederick County, somebody lying. We got two men that have two different sets of powers, and somebody's using it incorrectly, and we're going to get to the very bottom of this. Before I get into that, make sure that you subscribe. I'd love to see your comments. If you like it, hit the click. Let's make it happen. Alright, ABC 7 came to Frederick to discuss with the young lady about a bullet flying through a window into her daughter's room and missing her child within about 10 feet. Alright, so now don't get me wrong. It's horrible. It's horrible to know that your child was in their room and a bullet flew through and hit the wall. Okay, the question is, was it a crime? This is the biggest issue right now. So we have the state's attorney's office on one side of this dilemma, and then we have the Frederick County Sheriff's Department on the other. Head of the state, Charlie Smith. Head of the sheriff, Chuck Jenkins. This issue is a major one for anybody that's struggling with having children in trouble, people that have addictions, because the thing is you can't just make up a law and then prosecute somebody. You just can't. It's either, is it a law or is it not? Did someone break the law or did they not? This issue here, this tells me a lot about our politics in Frederick County. But I'm going to let you roll the tape and you can understand for what you see, and then I'll explain my side of the story. All right?
Now, a mother's fight for justice in Frederick County after a high-powered bullet shot into her daughter's bedroom.
And tonight, the sheriff says he knows where that bullet came from, but prosecutors say that no one in this case can actually be charged, despite the danger to the little girl in the room. Now, new tonight, our Ashley Rodriguez is on your side, pushing for answers, and it's a story you'll see only on 7.
Huh.
So that is the entry point of the .303 rifle round that nearly killed my daughter.
This golf ball-sized hole is a terrifying reminder of a bullet that smashed through the bedroom window of Orietta Estrada's 7-year-old daughter on March 6th.
I heard more gunfire, had to tell my daughter to get on the ground and cover her head. Told her that I loved her. And I told her that everything was going to be okay.
Moments before 8 shots rang out, Estrada's daughter was opposite the window folding laundry. A call from her father to eat dinner may have saved her life.
If it wasn't for my husband coming home, my daughter would be dead.
Turns out the shots were fired by 2 men who were shooting at targets in the woods near the family's Frederick County home. Outraged, Estrada called the Frederick County Sheriff's Office, demanding charges be filed. But Sheriff Chuck Jenkins says his hands are tied.
I made it very clear to my investigators and to his commander that I wanted this charged. So the state's attorney was made clear that the sheriff wanted charges in this case. Now I can't control, please understand, I can't control their prosecution.
The state's attorney says 3 issues prevent them from pressing charges. First, investigators can't determine who exactly fired off the shot. Second, it's illegal to shoot within a mile of homes, but they were 1.1 miles away. Drone Track 7 shows the area around Estrada's property. You can see it's mostly rural, and because the men had built an earthen berm to stop the bullets, they had appropriate safety measures in place and did not act recklessly.
It came in through here.
Estrada disagrees. She says the bullet hit the wall at the same height as her daughter and could have been lethal.
What would it take for this to be a criminal act? I mean, at some point, does somebody have to get hurt or die for this to be criminal?
No, it doesn't. Again, this is one of those cases where I think, okay, the state's attorney and I disagree, but I believe somebody should be held responsible and accountable for that round getting off the range.
The nightmares of like what could have happened. My little girl, my 7-year-old, my baby, my only.
So let's talk, people. I'm going to tell you what really happened. Now, I don't know what happened in this interview or how it got to that point, but I got some inside information on really what happened in this situation. So you had two men and they were shooting. They had a berm made. They was dug in the ground. The targets were on the ground 1.1 miles away. Listen to this, people. They were shooting, even had a hill behind it. Now you guys listening to me, how many of you go out and shoot and practice your guns? You might want to understand what's going on in this situation, because if not, you might be caught up with the same situation and somebody might be pressing charges on you. So let's talk for a quick second. So you have to understand this. The investigators and the commanding officers had closed this file. They had closed it. There was no probable cause. There was nothing going on with it. What happens? Chuck Jenkins ends up and he comes in and he says he wants it charged. It had already been communicated with the state's attorney's office that this was already a non-issue. 1.1 miles away, they were not grossly negligent or reckless. You can't just make something up. Now, was this anything different than a common citizen doing? Many people in Frederick County shoot guns. I was just invited to go shoot guns at someone's house. We had it protected. We had a hill behind it. We did all of the things that were necessary. But this is not the truth. He comes in and he says that they disagree. Who disagrees? The commanding officers and the investigators, they all said this was not a chargeable issue. So what happens? Chuck Jenkins comes in and he goes and he says, you need to go charge him. That's a problem. I know for me, if something happened to me or my children or my family members, I wouldn't want a sheriff to just come up and say, I'll charge them just because a mother said that she's mad or she's angry. Now, don't get me wrong. It's heartbreaking to know that your child almost got shot by a bullet. But is it a law? Just like a mother could be driving down the street, putting on her makeup on 270, going to work. All of a sudden, car slams on the brakes. She hits the car. She ends up killing 3 babies in the back. The question is, was this intentional? No, it wasn't. So you can't charge them with that. Just like many of the issues that happen in Frederick, people want people to charge people out of emotion. You can't charge people with emotion. You have to charge them with reality. Just like the young men that were fighting at the fairground and end up killing someone. You can't just put a charge on someone if it's not really a charge. I'm all about criminal justice. I'm all about reform, but I'm also holding people accountable. And I'm going to tell you this, people. That interview was a lie. He cannot go and tell his commanding officers to go charge someone, and they've already put in paperwork that there is no charge that needs to be made. People, before you elect again, before you go in and you vote, I want you to really think about what's going on in our county. These people have power. State's attorney's office, they have power. Sheriff's department, they have power. But we don't want that power to then be used by people making emotional decisions just because this lady is upset. Hold on. I got to let you listen to the last part of this, because that's the part that really gets me.
The state's attorney sent 7 News this statement. While I understand the complainant's concerns, a prosecutor's job is to enforce existing laws, not create new ones. If they wish this conduct to be considered criminal, they must turn to those who make the law. Now, the sheriff told me the other option is for her to contact the county commissioner and file a probable cause application. Ashley Rodriguez, 7 News.
So, this is my deal. Why not inform this lady that this is a civil suit? All Chuck Jenkins had to say was that my commanding officer, my investigators, all found that there was no reason to make a charge. The question is why did he now say that there can be charges filed on TV? Why did he go on record for that? His commanding officers already said there was no charges necessary to be filed. There was no gross wrongdoing that was outside of the scope of a normal person. You are going to have us waste money and ruin someone's life. You have the power to ruin someone's life. State's attorney has the power to ruin someone's life. But people, that gun shooter could have had a clearance. He could have had anything going on in his life that if he would have came in and been told that you are going to jail, his whole life could have been turned upside down. Their farm could have been lost. They could have lost their houses, their cars. Everything in their life could have been turned upside down, all because of an accident. People, you need to really look into this. I'm not joking. It is real. What I'm saying is that Sheriff Jenkins was trying to get his commanding officers, his investigators, to lie under oath. People, if you don't think this is wrong, then I don't know what you guys are looking at, and I don't know why you guys are voting. But I'm going to be here to tell the truth. Someone's lying, and we're going to bring this out. It's David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, just coming at you to tell you a little piece of my mind.